And action again.
What is up, guys? Welcome back yet again to another week with Keepin It 100 with your host, as always, Victor Ortega
and Gissel.
And this week we're keeping it 100 with the one and only coach and realtor at La Rosa downtown Orlando, Miss Tiffany Polite. Welcome to the show, Miss Tiffany Polite.
Thank you for having me. I'd like to thank my mother and my father for creating me, and thank you guys for this opportunity.
No, thank you.
The show.
No, thank you. And we also thank your mom and your dad for creating you and having everything conspired just for this moment right now.
Just for this moment. I'm finished.
So
let's cheers to that. Let's cheers to that.
Cheers. What you got in your cup? What is that?
So let me tell you guys, I did a mix, right? So, I went to Jamaica and I brought back some coconut rum. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me put some Coke in it. But I said, no, I'm going to do the blueberry Truly.
Wow. That's a whole concoction. How is it?
That's a whole concoction.
Concoction.
I'm going to ask you how you feel tomorrow.
It's like concoction.
I'm going to ask you tomorrow. How was that?
Right. Yeah, please do. I have plenty of water in my fridge, though, so I'll be hydrating right after.
Well, as you know, or maybe you don't know, this week or this month, we're celebrating
Women's History Month.
Women's International History Month.
Yeah, International Women's History Month.
There you go. She got it right. She's
the women got you, Victor. The women got you. We know what it is.
Right. Thank you so much. That's what we hear. So we wanted to have you. Obviously, you are a big key component of the La Rosa downtown Orlando office as a coach and realtor. So we wanted to have your perspective of things and just chit chat a little bit and keep it 100 with you. So you ready?
100.
You ready?
You ready?
You scared me. You ready?
Nah, it should be all good. But basically, for the millions of people watching right now, because there's a million people watching us right now, who is Tiffany Polite? Tell us a little bit about you. Who are you?
Oh, she is first a woman of God. Let me tell you that.
Amen to that.
Woman of God. My office has everything about God. Being clothed in strength and dignity. So that's first. That's who I am first. Second, I'm a mother of a 14-year-old handsome person. Okay, slow down, you little fast behind girls. He's not into dating yet, but that's who I am. Second, I'm a loving daughter, a great sister. I'm me. I'm a real down to earth person. I love what I do as far as real estate. I love being a coach. I've always been in a leadership role, and I've always loved to give back. So that's who I am, honestly, in a nutshell.
How long have you been a coach with the office?
So I've been the coach of the office since the office opened. So, we opened during the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember Rodney asking me before we even opened the office to be the coach. And I was like, it's my business. Your first couple years in real estate, you're like really trying to pay Peter to, rob Peter to pay Paul, right? Because you broke as hell. You started this business. I told you got to pay all these dues and have all this stuff. So you broke.
Yeah.
My business was picking up. I wasn't broke anymore. I was kind of feeling myself because I could buy a nice designer handbag now. Right. So, things were moving and I was like, God, to take away from my business and now build this. But then he, kept kind of telling me, like, I really think you should do it. And I was still kind of giving him a little pushback. But when he told me he was going to put somebody else in position, then I got like, what? Right. I feel like that was a trick. You
play reverse psychology on you.
Right. And it worked. It worked, everybody. And now here I am 2 years later as the coach.
So for everybody who's watching, let's keep it 100.
We always.
We're gonna keep it 100. I'm the controversial one of the relationship.
I don't believe that.
So a lot of people want to know: is Tiffany polite dating Rodney J. Bailey?
Oh no! Controversial. She got controversial.
You guys
you made me do it. You made me do it.
I am not. I am not.
This is gonna be good when I cut it.
Don't edit that. I am not.
Okay.
No, Rodney and I have a special love. So he and I went to high school together. We dated in high school. We were high school sweethearts. I like to say his song was about me. He may deny it. I know the truth. You know what I mean? I know the truth. He'll kill me after this, by the way. But no, we're just, we're really good together in a business relationship.
I love that.
That's truly the only relationship. Even before he opened the brokerage, he and I kind of discussed what it looks like, his thoughts. One thing I love about him is he's so innovative, right? Like we always do things different here, and you guys know that. He's so innovative, and I just think that that's something that keeps me going, and why I support him so much is because I believe in his vision, right? Behind every good man, there's a fabulous woman, and I'm I'm here for him. We have a different type of love for each other because obviously we've known each other for so long. But it's a really great business relationship, and then that's where it ends. So no, I'm not dating Rodney, although everybody thinks that. But no.
Yeah, we have to clear it up on keeping it 100.
Yeah, it had to be asked.
It had to be asked.
It had to be answered correctly.
But I love the maturity and the fact that when someone you can, basically love someone from afar, but still be able to work with them and be a team.
And be great at it. You know what
I'm
saying? You guys are, have one of the up and coming offices in the downtown area. I'm not just going to say La Rosa period, but just the downtown area in Orlando period.
Yeah.
And we're super excited to be here in the office. We already talked to Rodney and let him know everything we thought, but everybody has, I guess, different parts that they play, and I think that it's super important because not everybody can be a superstar, not everybody can be, the top person. Everybody needs to play their role, play their part, and together we're gonna build something bigger than than ourselves. Basically, that's the goal, I believe.
Yeah. So
and that was when Rodney and I, when he opened the brokerage, I told him he had this number, right? Tip, I gotta get here, and I was like, yeah, but you got to get there the right way. You know what I mean? And that's why we mesh so well together, because I can be transparent with him and he can be transparent with me. And I'm like, listen, there was people that was reaching out to Rodney who are that I know personally, who are top producers, y'all, like $1 million producers. But I'm like, their energy is, can I say fucked up on here? We shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's bad energy, right? It's bad energy.
Copyright me or something, but
nah, you're good.
But coming in our office, we don't have those, right? It's only good vibes, good energy. Like there's so many people who just come to the office and walk through and it's like, man, I could really feel the energy in here. Or I could really, feel the good synergy amongst. And that's what I told Ronnie, like, don't just go after people because they're going to produce. Because people work in environments that they're happy, right? They don't work. We don't work for La Rosa Realty, right? We hang our license with La Rosa, but we work amongst each other. You're your own brand. I'm my own brand. Like, that's who we are. And you want to have the good dynamic in your office, not that bad egg that's going to spoil everything.
Yeah.
And one bad apple will ruin, the whole energy.
Everything. And I told him that. I said, so don't worry about, even when people started dropping, when we first opened, I said, okay, move on. Like, we're not going to go over that. And he's finally, now he'll have the conversation such and such left. Okay, we lose one, we get 2 or 3. You know what I mean? You can't dwell in the past. You have to move on. And I think that he's doing a great job with just staying focused at, here, this is my number. This is where I want to be. You're either riding with us or you're not. Right. People trying to.
The momentum has been great these past couple months. I feel like he's getting a lot of people that are
Not only that, but people that are hungry, they want to learn. Like yesterday, for example, like a lot of people showed up for call night. I wasn't expecting the turnout that we had yesterday. You know, people that were.
I wasn't either, to be honest.
No, me neither. Like, and they were dialing. They were, and
Yeah.
even though they were getting voicemails and getting people rude, like they were still, you know, if they managed to get somebody for like 5 minutes, they would consider that a win, and that's huge, you know, because that's something that they're not used to. There's something that, you know, eventually they can get better at, and they just need that one moment that can say, oh, maybe I can do this, so they can continue to do it and they can continue to produce. So, you know, the office is an amazing vibe right now.
Yes.
A lot of people that are hungry, a lot of people that want to learn and grow, and that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
This, you know, even when because, you know, of course, he told me you guys were interviewing. So I was like, okay, so you know, we need them. So what you gonna do? I know. Get them now.
I like that. I feel happy inside.
Yeah, no, I told him that. I was like, okay, so what are you going to do? Like, we need them. Because I think, you know, even for me as a coach, like in full transparency, right? Keeping it 100. I'm not the best at everything, right? Although I like to think I'm perfect at, you know, most things. I always like to say that. But I'm not great at that. That's why yesterday I'm like, okay, I can say some stuff on call night, but that's what you guys do. You know, and I love that in this branch and our location, like, we're not all about like, okay, well, since I'm the coach, I'm going to do this. No, let me humble my little ass, take a step back and know that, hey, I'm going to be here for some good photos. I'm going to help y'all drink these Trulies, you know, and I'm going to but, you know, like, it's not my strength. So I love that we have people in the office like you guys, you know, like Flint and Javon, and, you know, you guys show people like, hey, this is an example. Like, I'm successful at doing this. Try it. And I had some of my coaching agents who were like, Tiff, I don't know. And I'm like, just do it once. And if you don't like it, okay, you don't like it. But you never know until you try.
Right.
And now one of them called today, like, I made some calls today. And I'm like, thank you.
Oh,
you know,
I like that.
It's small stuff. It's seriously the small stuff. Like, it doesn't always, and that's why I told Rodney, even through coaching, I don't want to always be the one that they hear. You know what I mean? I'm just one part of this huge real estate market. They need to hear from different people. You know, Ed's really good at door knocking. I'm not about to get out there and door knock. I'm hot. I sweat in all the creases. You know what I'm saying? I got all the hair on my head.
Yeah, the mark.
Hold on, here gonna be wet. My creases, I gotta go in my workout clothes to dry fit. Like, I'm not doing that, you know? So it's, you know, it was really good to see other people take roles and take the leadership, you know, position to help other people grow in this office. And I just think that that's something that's fantastic. It's fantastic.
We thank, you know, Rodney and you for the opportunity to do so. I mean, you know, we just brought the idea up. He was, you know, on board with it. And, you know, I was like, hey, this is it. This is what I put together. Figure it out. Let me know when it works. And he just emailed me back the same day, like, hey, I got a celebration title, working on it. And it was a date, you know, it was set. So
yeah, and it's next month, and we're just gonna keep it going. It'll just get better and better and better. So we already talked about it at our
Yeah, back to Miss Tiffany Polite. For all the fine gentlemen who are watching and want to know, is Tiffany single? Is she married? Is she in a situationship? What is she doing?
She's too busy because of real.
Right, exactly. They want to know. They want to know.
So I am single. Yes. I don't know if that's really something to celebrate, y'all. Like,
if you're happy, you're happy.
Your man is out there.
I'm loving myself.
He's watching right now.
He's watching right now.
You know what? I hope he is. Hey, I'll be at the office until a little after 9. I'm single, and you know, it's just in this business, it's really hard, right? And I'm also a single mom, so my time is so precious to me, right? Because when I leave here, I got to go pick up my son from YMCA. You know, I have him trying out for track now. He doesn't want to do it, but I'm making him do it. He has basketball, so it's basketball practice, basketball games. You know, you're showing your clients, you're coaching. So it's a lot for me to juggle at one time, right? Seriously. And then my mental health, and then my physical health, and then, you know, all of that. Like, it's just a lot to balance. So, you know, a man who enters into my life has to understand that. And I have not really come across a man who can understand the balance as of yet, I guess I should say. So yeah, so
He's watching, so take notes.
Don't worry.
He may be, or God may be saying, like, girl, you need to fix some stuff within yourself first. He may be saying that. I don't know yet. I'm waiting on the tracking number. Lord, please send me the tracking number so I know when he's coming. Amen.
We have the FedEx store downstairs.
I'm about to go, but I am looking to start dating now. You know, my son is getting of age, and he's gonna be. I mean, he's only 14, but still, he's getting in those, you know, middle school, right? And now he's going to high school, so he's not gonna want to be bothered with me. He's already at that stage where he's like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, or I'm going to church, I'm going to this.
Or do plans without your permission and stuff like.
Huh?
They'll do plans without your permission and then expect.
He's talking about my daughter.
Yeah, that's why I say
exactly. Like yesterday, I'm like, okay, you know, I said my sister was gonna pick him up, all this stuff, you know, to get him situated. Mom, track practice was closed or canceled, so I need you to pick me up from the house so I could go home, shower, and then take me back to school. Like, who are you? And do you know how expensive gas is?
Yeah.
I did it. However, I didn't want to, but I did it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Take your bike.
That's what happens.
Right.
So, just to keep it in the, you know, International Women's Month, what is one woman that you looked up to when you were growing up?
You know, guys, to be honest, and I know it sounds so cliche, but it was really my mom.
Oh, I love that.
Can't go wrong with mom.
My mom. Like, she's retired now, and I love her to death, but she calls all the time. Like today, she called about a meme she didn't understand on Facebook. Okay, Mom, I gotta go. But I mean, does it make sense to you? I don't know, Mom. Somebody made it. I guess it makes sense to somebody. All right, well, like, I'm gonna go eat my yogurt and my oatmeal, and then I'm just like, okay, Mom. But she's so funny. But it's always been my mom, and I guess because, you know, I was raised by my grandfather and my grandmother in California. My grandmother passed away, right? But my grandmother didn't work. Like, she really had a nice life. My grandfather worked. My grandmother would get up in the morning. She would fix us cream of wheat with butter and honey. We would have toast. She would be braiding my hair, you know, but she would cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We would go to church. My grandfather was the one who paid all the bills, right? Like, my grandmother, like, had the life. But then, as, you know, when she passed and we moved from California to Florida, you know, I just saw how my mother always worked. You know, she was working 4 a.m. She worked at the airport. She would go to work at 4 a.m, come back, still have to entertain us, go to my little, you know, stuff I had going on, whether it was cheerleading or track or some, because I wanted to be in all the damn activities like every other kid, you know. I was one of those, like, oh, I'm so competitive. Like, oh, she's doing it, I want to do it. Right, you can't tell though, right? But so I wanted to do it all, and my mother was there, and I just, you know, now and I remember even being like such a bitch to my mom. Like, there was one time when I ran away from home. I caught myself running away when I found out she was pregnant.
Oh my God. How old were you?
You guys, I was the only child. I was the only child.
That's like Gianna.
For 13 years, I was the only one. Like, my aunt was there, you know, and she's around my age. She was, you know, a bonus baby to our family. But, you know, my aunt was there, but it was still like, shit, wait a minute, you're having another, like, child? Right, like, the audacity.
Where'd you run to?
I went to my girlfriend's house. Well, let me tell you how stupid I was, right? It was, no, for real. Like, this is how retarded. So I went to mind you, this was like my best friend, right? God rest her soul, she passed away. But it was just my best friend in high school. Her name was Nancy. We tried out for cheerleading together, which is a whole different story. But I went to her house, and my stepdad knew exactly where to come find me. He comes to the house, and Nancy's mom was like the cool ass mom, so she was lying for me and saying I wasn't there. Oh, but my sneakers were right in the front with all my stuff.
Oh my God.
My first time running away. I wasn't a pro.
Oh my God.
But she just, you know, looking back at it, as an adult, I know. As an adult, I just see the sacrifice that my mother made for me and for my sisters and, you know, for our house and our household. So she's so strong. So she is truly like who I admire.
I love that.
Don't make me tear up because these artificial lashes.
So is there a woman right now that you would personally like to meet that you haven't met before?
Besides Michelle Obama, maybe, right? She's just so bossy. Like, she's a boss woman. I'm not gonna say it.
So graceful too.
She's so graceful. She's so nice, nasty, right? Like when they go low, we go high.
Yeah.
She wants to go low too. She said, "Don't do that." She said, "Don't do that." She said, "Go up here, Tip," and I said, "Oh, bring me down." But yeah, maybe Michelle, she would just be somebody who I would be like in awe. I probably wouldn't even know what to say. You know how you have some of those celebrities.
I was about to ask her, like, what would you ask her? Like, what's the first thing that would
how do you do it? Like, how do you do it? How does she do it, right? How does she stay so graceful? How did she stay in the spotlight when her husband is, the president? And there's nasty stuff out there about him, protecting your kids, right? Yeah, how do you keep your composure when you're in such a high profile position, right? Yeah. That's not easy. So she would be
she has a great story for sure.
Yeah. Right. And then it would be Beyonce, like, okay, B, listen, I can go around, right? Yeah. I can walk around in those heels. I'm
like, how do you do it? How do you do it all? How do you have 3 kids? 3 kids, right?
How do you stand Jay-Z?
Yes, 3 kids. A husband, I mean, all this money, she's doing all this stuff. So it's, I look up to women who have a lot to balance.
Oh, that's very close.
Because it's so important.
Yeah.
I think we said the same too, right?
Sort of.
It's really close to what she said last week, but I guess she's a very influential woman. They both are. I mean, it's like I was telling Gissel the other day, like right now there's so many women that are like,
hey, my lights went off in my office.
Oh,
it's okay.
There you go.
Hey, you gotta move.
1 minute. I gotta move around. I want to make sure I don't fall asleep. My lights are like, wake up, you got shit to do. Sorry, Victor, back to you.
How about, is there a woman that you would, want to hang out with? Like
have a couple drinks.
Have a couple of drinks, have a happy hour. Like, it could be from somebody from history that could be dead right now that, that you might want to, I don't know.
You know what?
Take their brain.
I'm going to be very honest. Somebody who, and she and I are actually going to meet up for lunch, Northeast.
Oh.
Okay. Why?
Northeast from La Rosa, Lake Nona. And I tell you what, she's so sweet. She's extremely humble. She's very encouraging. I will never forget you guys, right? So, of course, I'm a coach. So we have our coaches' calls. And there was a time when Veronica was over coaching. So she said, okay, coaches, everybody has to teach a class, right? Teach one of the sessions. Of course, it's my freaking week. And I'm like, okay, I got this, right? Totally panicking, because these are people on here who, they're brokers. They have literally their own brokerage. They have 400, 200, all these people in their brokerage. And here I am, like, I think I was maybe a year in. And I will never forget, Northeast gave me a compliment and just she said, Tiff, I'm so proud of you. I've seen how you've grown in your business. I've seen what you're doing with coaching. And I just want you, her compliment. And first of all, I love to compliment another woman because it's already hard in this business, right? And just I do a lot of stuff, for women empowerment and all that, just because we need to celebrate and love up on each other. Mm-hmm. But I will never forget the compliment she gave me that made me feel like, oh shit, this is somebody who is in everything, right? She's involved all across La Rosa with everything. She has her own fashion company. She's running a brokerage, one of the top brokerages in our company. So she and I actually are going to have lunch together. We keep missing each other with our schedules because she's involved in everything. But she's one who I would love to pick her brain.
I love that because
what she posted, she had
she posted that she had closed 41 million in last month, and I was like,
so she's busy.
Her branch, it's crazy, right? It's crazy how much she does, but she doesn't carry herself in
right.
No. You know what I mean? She doesn't do that. You guys, when we go to events, when we have coaching events, and when we have the Ladies of La Rosa events, like she's so down to earth. She's so sweet. I mean, everybody is, but she's just one person. I'm like, damn, that's a
yeah, and she's balancing a lot too. She has her kids, husband, business, her fashion stuff. It's a lot.
I met her before I was an actual realtor because when Gissel was in her office. And
yeah, but I barely went to the office. It's not like here when we actually come to the office
and actually put in the work.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
You know, when you're a new agent and you're thinking it's like selling sunset, you know?
Yeah, and you don't know. You don't know until you
And then you broke as hell, but you still like, y'all know what to do. You just in the office like, so what's up? What y'all doing? Damn.
We got a question from someone. What's your favorite drink?
Louis. What's your favorite drink, Tiffany?
Louis, my favorite drink is the one that goes down so smooth. That's it. I love a good. I love brown because it makes you get down. I also love white because it gets you right. So it just
the vegetable.
I like everything. We got more questions here. Look.
What are y'all sipping tonight? We're sipping on some crown apple and cranberry.
You guys need to try crown apple and ginger ale. I promise you won't look back. Yeah.
Like regular crown or just crown apple?
Hey, after that, wherever you're at, get the crown apple. Get the crown apple and ginger ale. No, for real. Okay. Hey, and I have ginger ale. It's so good.
We're gonna believe you on
that.
But
I'm sipping. Well, I told you guys earlier, my coconut rum from Jamaica.
Your tortuga. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you. I guess I need to bring you some cute from Puerto Rico. I think they have it here, but I need to find it because they have the lime, they have the coconut too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you like it. I'm sure you like it. So.
I love coconut anything.
Yeah.
I love exotic stuff. Coconut because I'm a coconut, I guess.
So I know you said your mom is someone who you looked up to when you were growing up, but is there a woman that you could look back and say, this woman impacted my life? Like I wanted to be like this person. Like she just impacted my life. And somebody in history or somebody right now that you may look up to that's doing big things.
I don't know if it's somebody in history, but I will tell you somebody who impacted my life. I will never forget. And this is why I love to read and stuff now. But my English teacher, Miss
teacher. Everybody has a teacher, I'm telling you.
Her name, she taught English and her name was Miss English. Like,
wow.
Never forget. Yeah, and I remember like I was, I always like to write and I always love to read, which for some reason my son didn't get that. He got the math part. So I'm like, definitely got that from your dad. Thank him. And he hates reading, right? He's good at writing, but he hates reading. I'm like, sit down, let's read for 30 minutes. He's like, oh, I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Excuses.
You gotta do everything.
You can do whatever you gotta do, but we're getting 30 minutes in, so go do whatever you want to do. But she was always like just so nice to me and always just had such nice things to say about the papers I wrote. And I will never forget the day she came to me. She's like, I'm going to ask for you to be promoted into a gifted class because I really think you're good at what you do. Hot damn it, yes I am.
Wow.
So, look, now I think I'm a shit. I'm like, I like to read books and I highlight.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk to you now.
Right. I'm limited English. So I will never forget Miss English that taught English. She was I always remember her because, again, I just feel like I'm the shit now that I like to actually read books and highlight. And people are like, oh, you don't do audio? And I'm like, no, I like to highlight. I still take my Bible to church, guys, and I take notes.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I've seen people that use apps now.
Yeah.
Use the Bible app on their phone.
Yeah.
You see it on their phone.
I don't.
It has a highlight on my
phone. No, I have the Bible app in my phone, but I take my Bible. I have my Bible case, and I'm there like taking notes, highlighting. I don't know.
And what grade was
this? So that's what I do.
Like what grade did Miss English give you class?
She's 5th grade.
5th grade?
Yeah.
Aww.
Wow.
Right, you guys, right. So I was like the shit.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
No, she was 5th grade. I will never forget. I will never forget.
Wow.
That's awesome.
At Inglewood Middle School.
It just
So
takes
this is in California or here?
Inglewood Elementary. I know. I always think about her when I'm like, oh, this lady is the one that made me.
You said that was in California?
No, that was here.
In Florida? Okay. Was it always in Orlando that you lived, or was it like?
Nope. So I was born in San Francisco, California. So that's why I'm a 49ers fan, right? Because I was born in San Fran. And then when my grandmother passed away, we moved here to Orlando. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome.
But I always say I'm a Cali girl. People are like, you're a Florida girl.
You be repping the West Side.
Right. I'm like, this blood is all California blood. Okay. They're like, sit your Florida ass down. Don't be disrespectful.
So what does the future look like for Tiffany Polite?
As far as what? My personal life? Okay. So let me break it down.
Aspirations.
Let me break it down. We'll say as far as business, obviously, I'm in a coaching role, and my next step would be to start dabbling in a little bit of commercial, which I've already kind of started, and hopefully get my broker's license this year. So
I like that.
Move over, Rodney.
Right. He already knows. You guys. He already knows. And you know what? Because we're on here and we're keeping it 100, I'm just going to say be all the way real. So I actually already took my classes last year.
Oh.
Yeah. But I got so caught up in coaching and really tweaking the coaching program and doing this that I took away from my own goals. And one thing when I talked to Rodney in December, I said, listen, I want to restructure this a little bit because I've got to get back to Tiffany, right? Like one thing about me, and this is another thing why I'm not in a relationship, because when I do get in one, I always give too damn much, right? I'm like, you okay? You want to do this? Okay. Like you give. And I told him, I said, I need to restructure just a little bit so I can get back to focusing on Tiffany and what her goals are. Not saying when I get my broker's license, I'm opening my brokerage right away, but it's nice, I can have my name on the front as the broker associate.
Yeah.
He already knows. I'll take all that down and put my name all down.
All we need is some sticker with your name on it and put it up there.
He already knows. So
he already knows what time it is.
He does.
Controversial as fuck.
He's gonna bust through the door in a minute.
Yeah.
What you said?
What you talking about?
But he, he's supportive of that, and he knows. So I told him, this year, and there's the school that I got my license from is the one that I want to get my broker's license with. So I'm waiting for them to open up those classes, and that's something I want to do for me. So that's.
I just finished my post licensing. The first one you have to take the 45, and let me tell you something. I wish I would have done that like the first month after I was out.
Yeah,
because
they should promote it to do it.
It teaches you a lot, but at the same time, it's long. It takes time because you're trying to make money, you're trying to make deals happen, and then you got to take time to make that happen too. And you only have a certain amount of time. So my license were about to expire at the end of this month. So I did it way late in the game. So if one piece of advice, of unsolicited advice, is do it early in your career. Don't wait till the last moment.
Yeah.
Because it takes time.
I had some NAC agents literally say, Tiff, I ain't going to be in coaching because I got to take my post 45. I'm like, what? So that is something that Flint actually last week was talking to the gentleman that drove down from Jacksonville to Lonnie, who, stops in drove all the way from Jacksonville just to visit our office. Let me just
he was in our branch meeting.
Yes. Flint was like, listen, you just got your license, take your post 45. I'm telling you. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
No, and it'll teach you. It'll give you a different perspective of the actual test for the license, which is total nonsense that you don't use in the real world. That one actually, pertains into what you need to do.
Keeping it 100. Guess who just walked in my room?
Oh, Rodney?
You already know. He don't want me to be great by myself.
He heard about the broken leg.
I heard about it. Probably heard about it.
They told him about the broken leg.
Right. He came over here like,
So do you think it's harder for us women to be in real estate than men?
Yes, absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Fucking looply. For one, men don't take us serious, right? They don't take us serious. You know, you send over an offer, they try to like talk to you like you don't know what the fuck you have going on. You know what I mean? They try to talk down to you. So that's first and foremost. Then second, you don't know who's taking you serious, right? I mean, there's so many times. I remember doing a home buyer seminar and a guy came, you know, there was a few other people, but there was a guy who was like, I'm ready. So the lender at the time was like, okay, you know, let's set up some time. We'll all get together. We get together. He wants to take me on a freaking date. You know, oh, can we go?
Yeah.
It's really hard. I remember too, you guys, I was like, I'm about to get all these leads. I'm gonna do my open house by myself. That's why I tell people don't do these damn open houses by yourself.
No,
I'm putting out open house signs. No, I'm putting out the freaking signs, and this guy comes, and I'm in this huge, it was actually Rodney's listing. I'm in this huge house by myself with him. He told me, oh, yep, I want to put an offer. So here I am, because it's almost a $1 million home, right? It's my first year. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This guy's gonna I'm calling Rodney. I'm like, this guy's gonna put in an offer. Da-da-da-da. He was totally pulling my leg. His girlfriend is then fucking sending me messages on Facebook.
Like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's crazy. Like men.
No. You want to hear something funny though? You want to hear something funny? What? Last week, I asked Gissel the same question if she thought that it was harder for women than for men. And she tells me this story about her having a buyer's consultation in the office, you know, with the guy. And then the guy wanted to what? He wanted to like take you out or something?
No, he was like, oh, I just wanted to see if you were as beautiful in person as you are on social media. I'm like,
no, but that's not even the funny part. The funny part is that he was watching live the show and he actually liked the thing as we were talking about that. Yeah. That was the creepy stuff. So if you're watching, sir, please unfriend yourself. Please, just unfriend yourself.
He's keeping it 100.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Unfriend yourself because you're a creep.
Jesus. And it's like they don't care. They don't care. They're like, well, let me try it anyway. It's crazy. It's really
like there's a lot of time wasters, regardless if you're a man or
it's a lot.
A lot of people that like
it's
to waste
time and I've noticed there's been a lot of unloyalty when it comes to buyers because there's
sellers too.
No, I mean I don't know.
Sellers, I mean, once you gotta settle.
I guess because the inventory is so low,
it's both.
They want to explore different options and see who can get them the house.
It's so I feel both. Like that's let me tell you this. You know, and this is what I tell people, and not even people. This is what I tell the agents. What's for you is for you, and that doesn't mean that shit is easy to swallow, right?
Yeah.
And if we again are keeping it 100. I just found out 2 days ago that one of my past clients is purchasing her investment property with another realtor. I found out because they put an offer on my property.
Oh, look at that!
Look at God!
Look at that going full circle.
Well, they did not get accepted because I didn't know this until afterwards, you know, and I wasn't the one because Rodney and I are on the listing together. It's still like, you know, the loyalty of people out there is very slim to fill. Nada, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. And what people don't understand is it doesn't matter what lender I work with. It doesn't matter what the house is. If you have the best offer, you have the best offer. You may not be the true best offer for the house. Right. I may not be the true best person to represent you. You know what I mean? But the loyalty in this business is so difficult and so hard. Like as a woman, as a man, as a whatever. Inventory is low. People are shady. People say they're going to work with you, don't want to work with you. And at the beginning of the business, like I was always so hurt and so crushed when people like, you know, they didn't want to work with me or, you know,
it's hard in the beginning.
They wanted to. Yeah. You know, and it sucks. And now I just say, you know, thank you, God, because you possibly dodge a bullet. I see you. Okay.
Yeah.
And I keep it moving. They're probably a horrible buyer. They're probably a picky.
Right. Or
Yeah.
there's going to be something that I don't need. Some extra stress I don't need in my life. And God's like, no, baby, let me just put you over here.
I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something better out there for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what I tell people, and especially the agents, you know, and I talk to my mom about it and even my pastor, and hear my mom like, do you think it's time for a career change? And I'm like, no, Mom, that's not the answer. That's right. Protecting your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Go back to the call center.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. She just, you know,
Oh
she wants to see me happy. Like she just, you know, she doesn't want to hear it. When my pastor's like, well, there's valleys and there's peaks and valleys, Tiff. Let's pray. He's like,
There's
let's pray.
but there's mountains.
No,
Right. I'm like, okay, let's pray. I guess that's
Every
what it is, right?
that I speak with my grandfather, he asked me, have you sold a house?
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't sell a house every week.
Yeah.
So when I tell him no, it's like, okay, so when are you going to look for a job? I'm like,
right.
I'm not looking for one. Like, I just want to talk to you to see how you're doing.
Yeah, like hi.
Like, I know you're in Puerto Rico by yourself, so how are you doing? Like, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Like, I won't ask you for money. Like, if I need to look for a job eventually, trust me, I will know and I will go find it.
Because they, you know, they're old school. They're worry. Secure, They like stability. We like crazy. We like. We're realtors.
I'm like, Mom, like, listen, I got a lot of hair I could pull out of my head, so thank you for that.
I know. That's the thing. I've already lost it.
Victor, I don't know what to do.
Like, I have gray hairs coming out now.
Yeah, right. It's a tough business. Like, it's tough, but you know, guys, I always say I love, okay, we make good money, right? We get to look at homes, but my favorite part of being a realtor is really giving the keys to my family and seeing them get in a home. You know what I mean?
Especially in this market.
Like, and I love going shopping for their closing gift because I always listen to them during the transaction.
Wow.
So I remember when I bought a grill for one of my clients, and he's like, "Is this for me? Who's this for?" And I was just so happy because he had a house with a pool. It was his first house, him and his daughter, you know, and he was so excited. It was in multiple offers. It wasn't recently, but it was a few years back. Multiple offers, you know, because it was a beautiful renovated home. And I will never forget the look on his face that I just, you know, I love to see that. I love how my clients just really embrace the small things and know that I'm a part of something so big for them. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think they can own homes. And believe it or not, a lot of minorities, because we have the lower credit scores, we get the higher points. Like, shout out to one of my lenders, John, who always provides me with updated information every week.
Go, John.
Right. Like, he sends over the NAR newsletter to me every week. You know, that's, again, you have to have the right, you know, partners in your business. But, you know, it's tough. But that's my favorite part of this business is, you know, the money always comes. And I always tell the NAC agents, don't chase the money. Don't chase the money. Chase the transaction. See how many more people you can help. See how many people you can service. That's going to be your big reward.
That's what I was telling them yesterday. Like, whoever doesn't want to talk to you, that's fine. They don't want to talk to you. You just want to find that person who does want to talk to you, who does want to have that conversation. And those are the ones you try to keep in love for as much as you can. And eventually, you know, you'll build a relationship, and that's the ones that you help out and end up in a transaction. So
you know,
and even, you know, I like to speak testimony about my NAC agents. You know, I'm a little cheerful. But let me tell you, Javon, right? He might kill me. I don't know, but whatever it is. Hey, we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So he started here, and then he left, right, and went to EXP. And when we had a conversation, you know, I was like, listen, no, there's no love lost here. You know, I think you're amazing. Wherever you go, remember, you're your brand, right? You're not this person. You're not La Rosa. You're not EXP. You're not whatever. You're your brand. When he came back, he was determined, right? So he and I had he's like, Tiff, I'm going to get it. I said, well, get out of coaching in Q1. Like, be gone. You know, I don't want you guys under me. Like, go, get out of coaching. What are you doing? Why are you in here? Even sometimes when he comes to talk, I'm like, how are your calls? Like, what are you doing right now? You guys, I tell you, yesterday he sat in here, either yesterday or the day before, he sat in my office, and he got a lead a while back that he had to touch 21 times.
Yeah.
Email, text, calls 21 times. He got the lead. who then has 8 other investment properties. I'm telling all his business. Sorry, Javon, I'm just really. But 8 other properties, and he sent him looking at 2 other ones. Like, come on. You know
That's
what?
awesome. Yeah, it's in the follow-up.
Yeah, money's in the
The
follow-up.
fortune is in the follow-up. It really truly is. But it's the work and that you have to put behind it. But, you know, when people want to work with you, they want to work with you. Whether you call them one time, keep calling their ass until they say, didn't I tell your motherfucking ass don't call me no more?
Like
until they block you.
The people that
right.
Know you, and the people that don't know you, I think give you more of an opportunity than those who are family, who those are friends, who those that are followers of yours for a long time. And I think that is gratifying, at least to me, like a personal opinion. Like I think that's more gratifying than helping those, just because people who know you, they know what you do, and they still don't reach out for whatever reason. You know, everybody has their own reasons. But when you help somebody out that you just call out of the blue and you just made a connection with, like that, to me, feels more gratifying because you really have to work for it.
Yeah.
You do. It's, you know what, I say this, and this is where I'm blessed, right? So I look back and I'm like, damn, like, why didn't I start my real estate career earlier? Because truth be told, my degree is in fashion design and merchandising. Yeah,
Okay.
hence the reason why
I see the fashion
stuff on. Right. So I've been in retail, or was in retail, for 21 plus years before I decided to take my leap. But I took the class. I took.
You used to work in Express, right?
Oh,
yes,
look at you! That's what I love that.
Remember Wet Seal? I was an area manager and a DM for Wet Seal. Remember Wet Seal, Contempo Casuals, all of them? You don't remember that?
No.
What?
Wait, what was the
name? Giselle.
What was the name? Because it froze for a second.
Oh, and Wet Seal?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I used to shop there.
Yes, I was Wet Seal and then Express, and I basically went back and forth between the two. But, you know, just building, I say to myself, damn, why didn't I start earlier? But what I learned being in the business and being a DM, learning how to manage different stores, being an area manager, learning how to manage different managers, right? That's what makes me successful in my business today, right? Because you have to learn to build that rapport, right? At the end of the day, you're a therapist, you're a psychologist, somebody want to call and talk about their husband, you know, they're not agreeing or whatever it may be. It's so many different hats that you wear as a realtor, and especially as a coach as well. I say, you know what? I'm in this position right now because this is my time to be in this position, but I'm thankful for my past, and I'm thankful for what I learned. And now I know how to organize my business. Like I know I sit down every, you know, obviously I have my NAC agents do it too. They have to plan on a 12-month scale. Then you have to break it down into quarters. Then you break it down into months. Then you break it down into weeks, right? You have a goal and you break it down. And that's one of the things that has made me successful, and why I believe my agents are successful, because they know, like, this is where I need to be, right?
Yeah.
Lewis was like, I'm going to be the first one out your coaching program. I'm like, well, don't talk about it, be about it.
And he was.
And he did, right?
He was the first one out my coaching program. I got this one. He had deals falling apart. He had deaths in the family. Like, he had a lot, but he was still my first graduate. And I will never forget, he's like, this is his goal and he's going to do it. So, you know, I mean, I'm blessed to work with so many great people.
Well, over here in the top, or the bottom right, as you can see, you see your logo. So if you can tell us briefly about what is Keepin Polite & Co., and then I have another follow-up question after that.
Okay, so let me tell you my name story, right? First, so I was named after Tiffany's, my grandmother name. So hence, those of you who know Tiffany's know that's why I have the color choices, right? Which is the teal, because Tiffany teal, the little blue box. So you can never go wrong with the blue box, fellas. Okay, never go wrong with the blue box. So my grandfather used to buy my grandmother Tiffany's all the time, right? And that's where I got my name, Tiffany. My middle name is Sterling. My last name is Polite. So I just always keep it polite, because everything I do, I'm always just a very polite person. So I'm just like, keep it polite, keep it kind. But I was also raised like that, but that's also a slave name, right? Because it goes back to my grandfather's dad. So it's
wow.
That's awesome.
so when I get married,
Not
it's
awesome in that way, but like it's awesome that you can talk about it now. Like
yes. So my name is going to be hyphenated. Like I'm always going to be a polite. Like that's just.
Oh,
that's
I
who
love
am.
that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
hyphenated.
what
My
you
husband, hey, he has to understand that.
You don't have
He's
to
watching.
understand.
He's watching. Let him know because he's watching.
Right, honey. Just so you know, I'm gonna be hyphenated. Okay. So then keep it polite and company. You know, I have all my agents, right? They work basically under me. I coach them, I guide them, I lead them. That's who I am. I don't have my team as an individual as of yet. That is something that will probably surface this year as well.
Oh, I like that.
But not a big team. I don't want 6, 7, 8 people. I just
You
want
want quality.
Girl, it's all about quality. I don't want all these people on my team who are, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do like, I want quality. I want a common goal is to help families. You know what I mean? I don't need this, that, and the other. I don't need attitude. I just want quality. So that is something that'll be coming up in the future. By the end of the year, I'll say, just because again, as I'm getting busier and, you know, taking on more, but that's who I am. It's keep it polite and company. My company is whoever's around me is my company at this moment, which for right now is a lot of my
And
coaching.
I know that you're keep it polite, and then your team is gonna follow that. So it's like we're gonna have a whole bunch of polite people.
Right. Just and in this business, listen, when you want to get nice, nasty, and cuss a motherfucker out, you just gotta keep it polite.
Yeah.
It hurts when you keep it polite.
Right.
It hurts.
Right.
So
Who's calling us, Victor?
I know. I don't know. I'm on right now, buddy. You're probably watching me right now, man.
Is that my boyfriend? Is that my new husband? Tell him I'll be home soon.
That's why he's calling. He's like, okay, polite. I like that.
He's like, get her off the phone and get her off the damn thing. I need her phone now.
But I wanted to ask you, tell us a little bit more about your real estate word on Wednesday, because you know I'm a huge fan of that. I don't miss
people look forward to that.
Miss it on every Wednesday. So tell us
my word on Wednesday. My real estate word on Wednesday. You know, I started this at the old office, right? I started it and I was like, oh, we need to start doing more videos. Because I mean, I don't mind like, you know, sending out like little tech stuff or when we do our postings. But to be honest, like, let me just shoot a video. I don't care what I look like. Hey, I used to have like crooked teeth at the bottom. I had braces. I'll tell you the whole business. I had braces, but then my wisdom teeth moved in. So my front teeth started like jacked up on top of each other. So, you know, when you do a video, like you're your worst critic, right? You like look in your mouth and like, oh my God, your hair and all this. And I remember I was just looking at myself and I was like, bitch, you look like what you look like. You gotta do these damn videos and sound like what you sound like. And that was it. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do something, and I wanted to do something and keep it consistent because at the end of the day, consistency is key. So I said, hey, let me just keep the word on Wednesday, and it's gonna be my rewow, which is my real estate word on Wednesday. And I'm gonna tell you, I
like that rewow.
Borrowed word on Wednesday because my church has church on Wednesdays, and we have word on Wednesdays. So I'm getting real estate word on Wednesdays. Thank you, Washington Church.
I don't think God minds.
Right, he don't mind. Hey, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? You just tweak it a little bit. So
right. But I have a final question for you.
What?
For all the women, this is Women's History Month. What advice can you give women who want to follow their dreams and aspirations and they're just like stuck? They're like, oh no, it's not going to work out for me.
Right.
Why me? Like, what can you tell them?
What Nike says, just do it. There's nothing. I tell you guys, and I tell you this, let me tell you. So because we're keeping it 100 and I have no shame in my game, my test is my testimony, right? So when I started this business, you guys, I had money in the bank, right? Because I was working a normal job. I had money in the bank. I had savings. I had all this. I blew through all that shit, like all of it. I was like broke as a joke. My car was messing
feel you.
I believe you.
I was there too, girl.
Yeah, me too. I blew up a $30,000 401k. So
listen, ridiculous. I remember having to like stop and put the Freon in the car, and you know, but I was struggling, but I was determined, right? Like I was just determined. Going back to my mom, right? paid my bills for 2 months, you guys, because I was like, I ain't doing a shit. I can't do this. And she was like, now she's like, don't do it, baby. You want to get another job? But, you know, like, she paid my bills for 2 months when I first started my business. And I mean, this is going to be out there so everybody knows. But that's why now, like, I'm just so humble in my role and I refuse to give up. So for those women out there who, you know, are looking like, damn, I want to do something different, right? And I'm going to call Vicky out and she's here. So she may be like, that's BITCH. But even for her, like, you know, I used to work with her sister at Express, so that's how we know each other.
Oh.
And I remember her and I talking on the phone, and she was like, you know, Tiff, I want to go full time, but I can't because I have my youngin'. And I'm like, girl, you just got to do it. Like, I remember leaving Express after having not a bad visit, right? But it wasn't a perfect visit because, you know, fucking one shirt was maybe out of place, and oh my God. The store looks like shit. And you know what I mean? Like, it was just never perfect. No matter what I did, I just felt like it wasn't perfect. And that's when I knew it was time for me to do something else. I still love fashion. Like, I don't dress like a normal realtor, right? I don't always have a suit, but I could put a suit on. Don't get it twisted. A bitch can clean up nothing. But I like funky stuff. I do, you know, my hair is wild and crazy. I wear purple lips. I wear, you know, I Mitch Mac earrings, but this is really a set, right? They go together. But you know, I'm different like that. But I took the leap of faith and I was faithful to what I wanted to do and stuck to my goal. And now look at me. Like, now my mom doesn't have to worry about anything but me complaining in her ear every now and again. She get whatever she wants. You know, she's totally spoiled. My family is spoiled. Like, you know, I'm so blessed at where I'm at right now in my life that you never know what you can do until you take the leap. Like, don't be complacent. Don't be stuck, whether it's in relationships, because again, I've been there, right? Stuck with somebody who wasn't loving on me the way I was loving on them. Don't get stuck in your relationships. Don't get stuck at a job. Don't get stuck being unhappy. Like, there's so many people who are unhappy where they're at right now. And all you have to do is say, fuck it, I'm out of here. Like, let me just something new. And it's not easy, right? I'm a single mom of, you know, a 14-year-old boy who wears a size 12 and a half, 13 shoe. He eat me out of house and home.
Jesus Christ.
I did that right, Victor. Let me tell you, I did that right. I did it right where I had a baby, and then here he is, and now he's tall. But
it ain't cheap either. It ain't kids' Foot Locker that you're buying them from. So
right, yeah. He's been out of kids a long time. But he's my why, and he's the reason why. And I just say to those people who are stuck, look at your why, right? That's why we have our why wall. Figure out what your why is, let go, break the chains, and go for what you want. Like, that's the only way you're going to be happy, truthfully.
Yeah.
Truthfully. So ladies, if you're out there, let that shit go, boo. Let it go.
Let that shit go.
For real, you have to. You have to let it go and just do it. Take the chance on yourself. And that's what a lot of us don't do. We don't take the chance. We don't believe enough in ourselves to do what we want to do. And we need to take it.
I agree.
We always are, and I say we because I put myself in that category. We I guess take other people's perspective and thoughts and try to make them our own. When in reality, you have your own thoughts. You know what you can do. You know what you've overcome in life, and you know, fuck them people.
Yeah, and that reminds me of the quote that says, and I don't know the author. If you guys know the author, let me know. The one that says, "Oh, but what if I fail?" And then it says, "Oh, but what if I fly?"
I don't know who did that, but he's smart.
You've heard about that one? I don't know who said it, but it's like you have all these like thoughts about, oh, what if I fail at this? What if I fail? But what if you actually succeed at it?
What if you succeed? And you won't know until you do it. You won't know until you really do it. But you're holding on, and I think a lot of times, men and women, we hold on to what's familiar, right? Because we don't want to let go of our comfort. So, like when I quit my job, I was like, the fuck did I just do? Like, can I get that resignation letter back? I just don't know. You know, but yeah. But my mom was like, you know, baby, if this is what you want to do. And I remember the guy I was dating at the time, we went for a walk around the block, and this MFer was like, you quit your job? And I was like, yeah, bitch, I quit my job. Like, he wasn't supporting in the right way. So, you know, a lot of things.
There was more questioning than
if he's not supportive, he's not the one.
Hello? Thank you. For real. So future husband, know you have to be supportive.
Yeah.
You do. But we want to thank you for your time.
Yes.
We want to thank you for hanging out with us and keeping it 100. We love your story. We love to hear everything that we didn't know about you, obviously, because we always like in the work mindset. So we didn't get a chance to actually like find this out about Tiffany. So this, I don't know about you, but it gives us like a whole different perspective of you.
Yeah.
And me personally, like I respect like women realtor more than the men, just because men are sleazeballs most of the time. Women are really out there trying and grinding it out. So and I see it, I see it in my wife, I see it in the people that I work with on a daily basis. So I just want to thank you for everything that you do for everybody that you help. And thank you for staying with us here and keeping it 100.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank you guys for having me.
Keeping it 100 with all these controversial questions.
Oh no, they
I hope it wasn't too controversial.
Hey, I'm gonna leave out my room. I'm gonna have sweat here, like, oh shit.
So what's your Instagram so people can follow you?
Oh yeah.
You what? Oh,
Your
people
Instagram.
can follow me. Okay, so my Instagram is super simple. Keep it polite. At Keep It Polite. Tiffany Polite on Facebook. Tiffany Polite Realtor is my business page. But I mean, there's only one Tiffany Polite.
Hello. As always, you can follow me at Resilient Better Ortega.
And at Gissel Homes.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Keeping It 100. We do this every week. We keep it 100 with you guys when it comes to real estate and relationships. Every other week we have a special guest. This week was one of those weeks, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you can get notifications every time that we go live. And we'll see you next week. So actually, no, we won't see you next week.
Oh no, we're going on a cruise.
We're going on a damn cruise.
See you on the next one. Though.
Hey, you guys, let me tell you this. Be careful on that cruise, because that's how I got my son Harry. I got a permanent gift when I came back. It was the motion in the ocean.
We're trying.
So
it's the motion in the ocean. So get it going.
Ooh, there's something in the ocean.
God, please help us.
Good luck. I put it out there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. So, peace.
Bye.